Hi, this is Fabio Tanaka from Konsento.org. We are developing a direct democracy system, open source, international project, and we are about to start the beta test. So I'm going to explain a little bit what we have done in these 3 years of project.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, We are a non-profit organization. We are focused in just make the tool to allow the people to have a real democracy. Uh, we think about create like a congress, a digital congress. So basically, we get all the same process that we already do in parliaments or in Congress, scientific Congress, and we are putting that in the system, right? So this is not a normal. Normally, when people say about direct democracy, you can see some softwares, but they are normally uh, a pool software, right? You only can vote like the Democracy OS. I don't know if you guys know about Democracy OS,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
Democracy OS has made one software, but that's just a pool. And we believe that that's not enough for we have a properly democracy system. We need a system that we can discuss all the laws, everyone can propose, and everyone can vote. So that's why we don't believe that democracy OS is
European Union,
properly
and so. Mm-hmm.
right.
And I
So
tried to see how we can incorporate direct democracy means in the European Union. And I gotta say, I'm really surprised because there are so many initiatives out there that the European Parliament has created, but they're not actually using them the right way. And it's like they want to give citizens the power they need to have. They want to give them more voice, but they don't actually do it. It's more of a superficial thing. They're saying they're doing it, but they're not.
exactly, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because someone needs to run the software, and normally it's some congressmen or some politicians that run the software. So he decides what's going to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, you cannot change the text that are in the pool, right? There is a law that they propose over there. You can just vote yes or no and put some comments. But sometimes, you have a law that you agree with most part of the law, but there are some paragraphs that are wrong and you want to change it. But normally
Mm-hmm.
we can change it because we don't have uh, power and not even voice to it.
Ok, ¿listo? Ok.
Yeah, okay. So I want to show how the software have been. Uh, so we have the login. We're gonna make with invitation code. So only people that send the invitation can allow someone to make the new user.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have decided that because to avoid like fake users, and
Mm-hmm.
then we can see who has invited that person to the software. So if in a point someone start creating a lot of fake account, we can discover who is the guy that is giving this invite for the fake account, and then we can block it. Of course, doing that in the system, right? Very uh, transparent with all information. We don't want to have like someone ruling the system. We want the people choose, vote, and decide when that happens. So
Mm-hmm. You're doing a great job actually, because I think, to my mind, the way European Union should actually function is doing such a kind of a digital congress, you know, having all this kind of information that the citizen wants to learn about, being able to communicate with your own politicians and citizens together. I mean, we should have that kind of communication, that kind of information, but unfortunately, it's not a thing so far. And one of my suggestions about the European Youth Parliament is actually having something like that, in digital platform, like you said it, and inspired by your organization, that will help European citizens to understand what's going on in the Union. Because so far, if you actually want to do that, you must have a degree in European Studies or something like that. It's too complicated.
All right. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. But yeah, so I want to just finish the introduction and then we
Hmm.
can discuss about the system or other stuff.
Hmm.
Uh,
Definitely.
okay, so we have made the software to have you can create the groups, and we will have the official groups. The official groups are gonna be the groups that we already have in the power, like the city parliament, the state parliament, and the country parliament, right? So we're gonna have like this division in the groups, and inside the groups you will also be able to create another other groups, right? You will have the official ones with the the laws that are uh, they are valid right now, right? So we can discuss all the laws that are going on, and we can prove it or discard it as the people decide, and we can also propose new laws. All right. So
Hmm.
if you want to create a group, you can create a group for your company or your neighborhood. Sometimes you live in a building and this building have a meeting to decide the rules from the building. So you can also create a group for your building and start using that to make the building congress to decide the laws. All right. So and the most important thing that I want to show is this page, this layout. This is going to be the main layout of the discussion, right? Uh,
Hmm.
on the left side, we're going to have the what is in consensus or is almost in consensus, right? This is gonna show what when it's in consensus or not. And when you click on a paragraph, you're gonna see the, the, the other proposed and suggestions, and then you can vote yes or no. At the start, we just think about yes or no, but as you can see in the presentation that I sent to
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
guys about the algorithm, we have made a little change. We put the blank because a lot of
Hmm.
people was asking for it. So we didn't when we draw the first layout, we didn't think about the blank vote, but now we are considering it in the algorithm and also in the software. Uh,
Hmm.
so when you click over here, you're gonna have all the other proposals for this paragraph, the blue one. And then you have the filters like what is the most popular, what is the top trends or new, or what kind of paragraph has a lot of yes or no. So uh, it's like a big discussion, but it's not in a consensus, right? So we're
Hmm.
gonna have all these kind of filters to search or to find what people are talking about this paragraph. And when this paragraph fulfill the the algorithm set, so it goes to the other side, right?
Hmm.
I just lost the yeah. Okay. So that's how basically we have made the layout. If you guys has some feedback about it, we are open to improve it. We are
I
already
think it's
testing
great.
something.
Actually, I think it's really great. The job you've done so far is flawless, and I can see how that's going to help the citizens and the local governments. Although, one point I would like to raise is maybe having it on the official language of, well, most nations, which is English. So that would be lots of help because, sometimes translating it in Google Translate can be really confusing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Except for that, I think it's really great, and I think it's something that I've never seen anywhere else. So it's so modern, so different, and so helpful. I think it's a tool for all citizens.
Cool. So, so you have any feedback about the algorithms? Because this is, I think, the most important part of it.
You're right, and I think that it was really smart of you to put blank as an option too. Also, generally, this graph is really inclusive. It points out all the things that we should care about in direct democracy. Not only how many people have read it, but actually how many voted, and how many voted, and what they did actually vote for. And if that is not the criteria is not filled, then the consensus doesn't happen. So I think it's exactly how it should be.
All right, this is cool.
Hmm.
All right, nice. And so, do you guys want to say anything about the system that we are doing? Can we discuss about our stuff?
Sure, anything you want to talk about.
So, what about the part of what's going on? You guys are from Greece, right?
Yeah, we're from Greece.
So, I hear you talking about a congress, right?
I just mentioned it because you mentioned it, although we have a parliament. But yeah, it was kind of a type of expression.
All right, cool. So, and what do you guys are thinking about the software? Do you guys want to make part of the team? Do you want start using it? What do you guys are
Um,
into the project?
After the conference, because right now things are a bit heated, I would definitely be interested in using something like that, and I would love to help if I have the time and you also are able to, and we can cooperate successfully anytime you want to. I'll be able to, uh, probably, and I think I'm gonna forward this to other people I know because I've got a group of friends who are pretty interested in politics, and I think that this would fascinate them.
All right, cool. And what what's the name of the girl that is in the hangout?
Her name is Maria, but she's I don't know if she's looking at us at this point. Do you want me
All
to
right.
text her also because she was paying attention, but I don't know if she's still doing so.
Yeah, looks like she's over there.
We just wanted to see how the whole thing is. Oh, here's Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Fabi over here was asking your opinion about direct democracy and generally this initiative. Just to add something here, Fabio, Maria is not a part of the program. She was just interested herself in seeing how all this works and just by plain interest in politics.
All right, cool. Do you have anything to say, Maria? Any question or suggestion about the system?
Um, no,
Okay. All right, Bill. So what else could we talk about? Do you need
She likes
any
it.
help or
Actually, I would like to make some questions
can you
more
say
because
again? Can you say again?
some
Your
general
voice
advice
just.
about direct democracy.
All right.
Well, first of all, I wanted to ask if you believe, as a person, that it is feasible concerning the European Union as a whole and not just every member state.
Can you ask
I think
again?
that's concerning the entire Europe. What did you say, Fabio?
Can you say again because your voice just cut a little bit and I
Okay, I'm
couldn't.
just gonna try to move the computer a bit because that may be an issue. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that having a direct democracy more freely than right now in Europe as a whole and the European Union is something we can do? And if it is, how?
Yeah. What we think about the transition between this representative democracy that we have in the world right now to the
Mm-hmm.
direct democracy, we see as a movement that will go from the base, from we people, and when we have enough people on the system, so democratically we can change the system. So
Sure. I'm just gonna interrupt you for a second because my battery is low and I'm getting the cable. Just a minute.
okay.
Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
So we believe that we're going to make the transition by the people. So when we have enough people in the software in the system properly register with your
Uh-huh.
ID or in the law of the country in Brazil, it's a little bit easy
Mm-hmm.
because our constitutions already have a part of the constitution that mention the direct democracy.
Mm-hmm.
So
See what it says in
for us,
English.
it's a little bit easier because we can just have the people in the software, and
Mm-hmm.
then this is already considered as a power in Brazil. But of course, each country has your own laws, and then we need to see it properly to see if we need a new law over there to make it official or if the laws they already have a way to consider it official, right? So that's a thing that we need to see by each country. But anyway, what we need is people in the software, right? We need to have enough users to democratically change the system, or else this is not democracy, right?
Hmm.
So
You're right about
we,
that.
yeah. So,
Um,
but
also, yeah,
until
yeah, go on, go on.
we reach this number of users,
Uh-huh.
what we can do is the same what Democracy OS was about to do. Have politicians, they're gonna vote by the software, but the big difference about the Democracy OS and Consento is that in Consento the politicians that doesn't have the control of the software. So anyone can propose and create
Mm-hmm.
laws and vote. So this is a very different between the Democracy OS. So we believe that we already have some politicians that they are running for the elections, and they are going to vote about by the consento, by the decision of the people in consento. So this is a way for we doing the differencing until we reach the number to change the system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great, and I'm really happy to hear that you've kind of found response in people, and especially in politicians. And uh, since you're mentioning it, how are politicians over there about this? Do they view direct democracy as something that could happen? Do they like it? Because judging from what I've heard here in Greece, although they do appreciate how important it is as a constitution, they don't really think it could be used in today's Europe, which I'm not completely in favor of what they're saying, of course. I think that we can have means of direct democracy today, but most of them are pretty negative. So, what argument would you say to them? How would you defend direct democracy in their eyes?
Yeah, it's the same thing here, Bill. Most of them they doesn't like the direct democracy because they lost the power, right? And that's not how they work right now here in Brazil, at least, because here they normally work for big companies, multinational companies outside of Brazil normally.
Mm.
So they are like employee of these companies. So for them, the direct democracy is like they're gonna lose the job.
Mm.
So yeah, they are against it. Well, most of the people that join the Consento, the politicians that join Consento, they are those new politicians. In U.S., we have a party over there, Direct Democracy Party.
Yeah, I've seen
They
that
are
party. I've seen it. During my research, I found them.
yeah, they're gonna test the Consento. There are some of them that are with us. Even the net party, the Argentina, the Partido de la Rede from Argentina, the party
Hmm.
that makes the Democracy OS, they are also with us. They're gonna test the Consento, and there are some politicians from the party that are gonna use the Consento instead of the Democracy OS. Uh, in Brazil, we have some from many kind of party, but they are like new politicians, so we don't have a, a big name. The biggest name that there are with us here is Marina Silva.
Could you repeat
She
that?
Marina Silva.
I'm gonna take a look at all the history about that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna write the
Okay,
name
so
for
that's
you. Can,
really good to know. Also, do you think that when you talk about direct democracy, how do you exactly mean that? I mean, do you suggest that we have the same system that they used in ancient Athens? Okay, something more modernized? Because the thing you mentioned before about having the citizens make the laws, that could be in a state of chaos. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't have somebody taking all those decisions and managing that they get viewed and then trying to pass them somehow. Are you talking more about having just direct democracy or um, combining both, direct and representative and having some kind of mixed democracy?
yeah, the software is for the direct democracy, but what we are saying is until we reach the number for we really consider it as a official lawmaker in the city or in the state or in the country. We need to have most of people in the system. So
Hmm.
until there, of course, we can all the politicians use what is in there for choose what they're going to do in the government or which laws they should do and how they should do the laws.
Hmm.
So this is not how we think to run forever. This is only like a transition phase. So yeah, it's possible, right?
I'm sorry, but it's interrupting sometimes and I can hear you all. What did you say in the end?
As I just said that it's possible to have the system, the representative democracy running with Consento, with the politicians seeing, looking at the Consento and decide how they're going to make the laws, right?
Hmm.
So
You're
this,
so right
this is,
about that. Um, just some final things. Are you aware of that model of direct democracy that's going around in Switzerland?
yeah, I have talked with some Switzerland people.
Uh-huh. How do you view that? I mean, is it something that you would like to incorporate in the whole society? Do you like it the way it is there? Do you think that they should make some improvements? I would really like to hear your opinion about that.
Mm, I don't have a proper opinion about that, but I really believe that we need to unite the world and into a democracy system and engage the people, and we can have a united world. Uh, so that's my opinion about that. I don't want to go inside other stuff because I'm talking as the
Hmm.
Consento here, and my focus as a speaker of Konsento is only the democracy, so I can talk about that outside the hangout with you.
Mm-hmm. Um, I was just asking because the whole thing starts tomorrow, and I was just asking for your opinion.
Bill?
I'll be able to read it, I think. I think you pretty much covered us, so I would really like to thank you for spending all this time to communicate with me and transfer all this information. It really means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. And thank you guys also. If you want anything that I could help with the Consento to reach your country or anything, you can just ask me. I'm available in the Facebook or.
And telling them about the Consento, I'm just gonna make sure that they know what this is and how important it is because it's really a good thing, a really nice initiative. And as I told you before, if I do find the time, because this year is a little bit, everything is cramped for me. If I
Bill, your voice it just stopped. Can
if I would
you?
help, also I noticed you're running for mayor. Is that true?
I'm sorry, your voice just cut in the middle. I just
Um,
hear the start and
okay, okay,
then.
sure. I said I noticed that you're running for mayor. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm running for the mayor of the city, and I'm getting this thing about I'm gonna make like a real democracy administration with the Consento and with all the best people in the population to make a better city. Because we have this issue over here. Normally, the big companies they run the government and they just do things to the big companies, and the people stay starving and all the problems.
You're so right about that. I wish that you succeed. I wish that you fulfill all your goals of having a real and true democracy in Brazil. I hope that you get elected, and I would just like to thank you one more time for devoting your money and your time on doing this whole project and talking to us because it really means a lot, and it's going to help me in my future. So thank you a lot. It was something different and something really interesting.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
And Maria would like to mention something too, if that's okay.
Congratulations for your going for mayor. I'm wishing you best of luck, and I'm sorry, but I'm shy, but I love the whole thing. Um, okay.
Okay, thank you, Maria. All right, guys. So keep in touch. Anything, if you have some proposal for us, improve the system, or if you want to help us, please talk to me. And also,
Since you
please
mentioned it.
put your
Uh-huh.
put your email on the website to receive the invite for the beta test. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna release this in a couple weeks. So get ready to start doing the right democracy.
Definitely. If there was something I would like just to point out, um, I think that the whole consent thing you're making is really great, but something you can incorporate is communication via politicians and citizens. You mentioned that having the transition right now is hard because, well, the people aren't there yet, but having politicians talking via your site and the consento to citizens and about the problems, some kind of dialogue. I think that would be really nice, and if there was a way to make that too, it would be just perfect, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. We are really trying to do that in Brazil. I think we can do that properly. We have some politicians, and we are looking for outside politicians also. If you guys have some contact and find some politicians that wants to defend the democracy, you can talk to them and present the consento. And if you need some help, I can help you also.
Sure, I actually have some friends studying politics at this point, so I'm just gonna ask them their opinion, and I'll just give you all the feedback I can. Again, thank you so much. It was really important. Thank you for all your effort, and I hope that it really happens. I hope that we will have the Consendo going as a thing in the world. I hope that you get elected. I hope it all goes well because we know how much important democracy is. And thank you so much, Fabio. I think it was a great thing for both of us. Listening to
All
you learn
right.
about this stuff, it was great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much also. Bye bye, guys.
Okay. Good night, Fabio. Thank you so much.
Good night. See you.
Bye.
Bye, Maria.